An epicenter, Brownsville, Texas. There, the National Guard, I think 1,000 or 1,500 troops have been sent down, block the border and migrants with barbed wire. We've got the mayor of Brownsville, Mayor Trey Mendez, with us. Mr. Mayor, thank you very much for joining us. Are the federal additional authorities doing the job the right way? What is your take on the status of the situation?
Well, sure. How's it going, Chris? Thanks for the question. So far, everything's looking good, actually. Surprisingly, it's been pretty calm down here. Haven't had any incidents. We've seen the numbers actually drastically increase since yesterday. Yesterday, I believe we apprehended about 1,900 individuals that were crossing illegally. Today, the number was actually down, but our law enforcement personnel were at the border. They were ready in the event that we actually had a surge. But we didn't, and that's been surprising, but also a very good thing for us.
So what does it mean? Does it mean that this is all just media hype? Does it mean that you guys are just trained up and prepared and threw so much at this one window of time? And if that is true, then what do we do going forward? Because you can't sustain this level of resource commitment in all these communities, let alone federally.
Well, right, and the city of Brownsville has been on the front lines for about 3 years on this, and we've really run a model system, a very efficient system, one that we've used to train other border communities and other cities that are receiving migrants. So we run a very efficient process here in Brownsville. It's very scalable in the event that we see additional individuals coming, but part of that was preparation, and I think part of that was also we were seeing the surge happening over the last 2 or 3 weeks. We were seeing individuals that wanted to come over, knowing that they had to come over by yesterday before Title 42 was going to lift. So I think we saw a lot of those individuals really rushing to get here. Those that got here were able to take advantage of that process, and those that did not are seeing now the effects of Title 8 and how they're being processed now, subject to Title 8. Today, for example, like I said, we saw 1,900 apprehensions yesterday. 1,800 of those were sent back. Almost 1,850 were sent back. Today in Brownsville alone, we're seeing about 301 people as of about 5 p.m. today, drastically lower than what we've been seeing. So my thoughts are, and I said this a couple days ago, I think we saw the surge, but that doesn't mean that it's over. That doesn't mean that we can relax. It just means that we continue to prepare, we continue to be ready, and we continue to expect that there may be a surge at some point. Some of that is politics, some of it's rhetoric, as you can see. Chris, we deal with that every day. We've been dealing with that every day for the last 3 years at least, if not more. So I think we've been successful because we've had very good communication with our federal partners and also because of the process that we run down here.
You had one of your state senators down there, U.S. Senator, saying that it's a travesty, it's a disgrace. Look at Brownsville. This is an example of how bad it is. What did you make of that?
Well, it's more of the same, more of what we've been hearing for years, right? Ever since Trump left office and while Trump was in office. I'm not surprised at the senator's statements. He's been making those inflammatory statements for years. Unfortunately, he was saying it in my community, which I had to take seriously. But I think we saw today it wasn't what we were hearing in Washington. And Washington's divided, Chris. I mean, that's the reality. Until we can fix this, until we can come up with some sort of solution, we're going to continue to hear the rhetoric. We're going to continue to hear both sides using this issue in their elections and otherwise. But really, for us in Brownsville, we face it on a regular basis. This is our reality. And we hope that those in Washington are watching, seeing that it's taxing our resources. But we've been fortunate that we've prepared. We've been fortunate that we planned for this, that we run a good model. But that's not to be said in every community.
Has Ted Cruz done anything for your community, by the way?
I didn't hear that question. I'm sorry.
Has Senator Ted Cruz done anything to help your community?
If he has, Chris, I'm not aware of it. Yesterday was the first time I'd seen him here in my community in a long time. Typically, if he comes down, it's for things like this. I know he was in and out. If he's done anything, I can't comment that he has, but if he has, I'm not aware of it.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And Don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.